up? It's a Chinchilla Notebook here, and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video on how to set up the perfect chinchilla cage. And really quick, look at his little foot. The way that it's sticking out is so cute. I don't know why he's sitting like that. So today I'm going to be telling you guys how to set up the perfect cage for your chinchilla. Or not perfect, but near perfect, just, you know, one that is suitable for them and good. So anyway, let's just get right into it. The first thing is to get a large cage that is tall in height. So obviously chinchillas need a lot of room to run up and down. They're very energetic and fast creatures, and it's really important to have a cage that is very tall. And honestly, if you guys can get, this is a Critter Nation cage by the way, if you guys can get another addition and add like 3 stories, which is definitely my goal in the end, that is excellent. I really want to do that for my chinchillas, but basically you just need a cage that is tall in height. I know that a lot of pet stores misinform you and recommend really short, small cages. That's just really not what they need. They need height more than anything. And of course width as well. Just look how big this cage is, just one level. So this is the Critter Nation. I have 2 for both of my chinchillas, and I will be linking it down below. I get a lot of questions on what cage I have. So I have the Critter Nation model 162, and I'll be putting a link in the description box in case you guys want to check it out. But that is the first thing that you should be paying attention to, is the actual cage. The second thing is to not use any plastic inside your chinchilla cages. So for those of you who don't know, plastic is toxic to chinchillas because if they swallow it and ingest it, not only is it really tough and can like rip their intestines, but it also has toxic qualities inside the material that is harmful to chinchillas. I don't know why I can't talk today, but it's harmful to chinchillas, so stay away from it. I know that some people think that it's okay, oh, my chinchilla doesn't chew it, but chinchillas can pick up a habit very quickly overnight and just chew a bunch when they randomly feel like it. Both of my chinchillas are huge plastic chewers. Anytime they're around plastic, they will devour it. I used to have liners that they dug up and they would eat the plastic pans. It's really bad for them, so make sure that in their cage they have no plastic. And it's kind of difficult with chinchillas because I know that other rodents like rats, you don't have to worry about that, but with chinchillas you do. Just make sure that you have glass water bottles, metal cups, wooden huts, everything to be not plastic, everything to be wood or metal or like fleece material. And the third thing is to fill it with lots of safe entertainment. So chinchillas get bored very easily, which is why you need to make sure that you're constantly stimulating them with new toys as well as playtime every day. But as far as the cage goes, try to fill it with as many interesting things as you can. Ledges are a great accessory because it allows them to jump around and just hop around their cage as much as they can, kind of like in their wild habitat. And just adding like wooden structures. I like to put rocks in my cages. I know that sounds weird, but they honestly like it because they can just bounce off them. It's just a little different. And let me show you Merlin's cage. He has a wheel down there, so he has entertainment for sure. I still need to get one for Zorro. I'm just waiting for him to get a little bigger and less clumsy. But yeah, Merlin's got tunnels. He's got ledges as well. And I don't know what he did here. But anyway, basically just fill your cage with a bunch of safe toys and entertainment for them. If you guys need to know what things are safe or not, I have a lot of videos on my channel like cage tours and toy hauls that you can check out what kind of items I recommend for chinchillas. So the fourth thing is to keep the environment of the room cool. So as you guys know, chinchillas can easily overheat. They need it to be at least 70 or 71 degrees Fahrenheit is the hottest I would go for them, because they have a very thick pelt, as you can see, very thick and fluffy. Chinchillas cannot sweat, so if it gets hot in the room, they are going to hyperventilate, overheat, and they could even have a heat stroke, which is really dangerous to chinchillas, and it's just something that you should avoid. And so it's very important that you keep the room cool. I know that a lot of people sometimes ask me like, oh, I don't have AC. What can I do if I get a chinchilla in the future to keep them cool? Honestly, AC is the only thing I recommend. If you don't have AC, I don't think a chinchilla is the right pet for you because it's very difficult to keep a room cool properly without AC. Now, if you live in a basement or you keep your chinchillas in a basement, that's a different story. Those tend to stay cooler in general. If you live in a hot, humid place especially, having no AC is very dangerous for your chinchillas. So fans don't do the same thing. I want to also say that because what fans do is they circulate the air and cause an air draft, which makes us feel like we're cooling down. But honestly, air drafts do not make the air cooler, and they're just causing an annoyance to the chinchilla, like an irritation of a draft just blowing at them. So AC is how you should keep your chinchilla room cool, and also try to keep it beneath 70 degrees Fahrenheit if you can help. The best temperatures is between 65 to 70 degrees. And the fifth thing is to make sure that you provide plenty of ledges. So I kind of already talked about this, but ledges are important because they allow your chinchilla to jump around your cage and kind of like in their natural habitat. And I have a ledge that's broken back there, guys. It's been broken for so long. I mean, it's not dangerous, it's just like it's bent over, and so I need to fix that really bad. But providing a lot of ledges is important, so make sure you guys invest in some. I made these thin ones, and then I bought these thicker ones from AZ Chinchillas. You can get them on Amazon, you can get them on chinchilla websites out there. They're pretty easy to find. Just type in chinchilla ledges. Etsy has a lot of them. So yeah, chinchilla ledges are definitely needed, and wood is the best material to get them made out of. The sixth thing is to always have hay accessible. So 70% of a chinchilla's diet is hay, and while yes, pellets do have hay in them, like hay properties, it's important to allow them to have fresh hay available to them. And I get them the Oxbow chinchilla hay. It's the Timothy hay. I recommend that you guys also stick to just Timothy hay if you're gonna get any type of hay. Skip the alfalfa hay. Orchard grass is okay, but just skip the alfalfa, and I don't even know what else they have, some other types of hay. Just try to go with Timothy hay. It's the basic necessity of their diet. But pretty much fresh hay is not only good for them because it's their main source of food, but it is also helpful to keep their teeth healthy. Especially if you get the long strands, it helps their teeth stay trimmed down and yellow, which, by the way, sounds weird, but yeah, chinchilla's teeth need to stay yellow. So having good quality hay is definitely a must. I would stay away from brands like KT because KT is a very low quality brand. Like, yes, they have hay, Timothy hay, but it's not high in quality, and it's just like mass produced in really low quality. So I would stick with something like Oxbow. I love it, it's my favorite, but there's also other kind of natural ones that you can buy out there. And the seventh thing is to place hideouts around the cage for refuge. So chinchillas in the wild are prey animals, and so they always need a place to hide. And if you ever seen their habitat on the Chile Mountains, there's lots of rocks and holes for them to run into quickly if they see any dangers from above or around them. So it's really important that even in their cages you provide lots of hideouts and places for them to go to hide away from people. If a sharp movement scares them, or if somebody or a dog or someone just comes into the room loudly, they need a place to run and not be interrupted. And I'm also going to mention this in this video. If your chinchilla ever runs inside his hut, never put your hand in there, try to bring him out, or, ever put your hand in, because that shows them that they can't trust you. They're in a place where they feel like they should be safe, and here you are violating their privacy. So yeah, huts are very important. I have this one up here for him. His favorite is this one. It's like a tunnel hut, and he's squished underneath there before. And he also likes it in that corner, but this is probably his favorite hut along with that one. And then Merlin here, this is his main hut, and then he likes it underneath there because he's hidden. Not a lot of people can see him from above. And then he also has this hut. But just make sure they have a couple huts in their cages to hide in. And then the eighth and last thing, I'm going to recommend that you guys get a cage with horizontal bars because it's easier to attach things to them. So for example, this is a Critter Nation cage. As you can see, the bars run this way, and then there's like a couple this way, but most of them run this way. And this is much easier to attach items to the cage, and the bars are also smaller spaced apart. If any of you are familiar with the Ferret Nation, their bars run vertically, so they go like this, just up and down, and they're spaced probably about that much. But the Critter Nation go horizontally, and they're also really of a smaller gap. Like, I can't even stick my whole finger in there. But the reason for this is that it just makes items easier to attach, because if you have chinchillas, you're going to put a lot of ledges, a lot of different accessories like the hay, the water bottles, everything like that. It is so much easier to get yourself a cage that has horizontal bars. That's all my tips on how to set up the perfect chinchilla cage. I have a lot of videos on how to set up their cages that I go into more depth. I talk about the bedding, I talk about a lot of other things as well. So I will link that down below for you guys to check out. But that is all I'm going to say in this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.